Hey, how you doing? I am Unknown Emperor, and if you're tuning into this video, it means that you're interested in figuring out what my top 10 is. When it comes to my anime, if you tuned into my first podcast, you kind of have an idea about what I'm going to go with this, but I really just wanted to make a formal video about my anime top 10. I like to start from the bottom up when it comes to my top 10 list or a list along these natures, because I like the suspense to build a little bit, and then kind of knock off stuff so people can work their way up and be like, oh, what he think? But this is my personal top 10. Or you're tuning in to let me know what your personal top 10 is. And I'm more than welcome to listen to your personal top 10. And you trying to tell me how you feel about my top 10. If I mention animes that you've never heard of, you're more than welcome to ask me about them. You're more than welcome to give me recommendations, because I'm always willing to expand my anime, my repertoire when it comes to this. But this isn't gonna be too long. I'm not gonna take up too much of anybody's time. But without further ado, this is my top 10 list. But we cannot have a top 10, without having a little bit of honorable mentions. And first up on the honorable mention list, I have Dragon Ball Z. R.I.P. to the late great Akira Toriyama. I appreciate Dragon Ball Z. I respect Dragon Ball Z for everything that it has to offer. A lot of great anime that I watch today, that I enjoy every day, is inspired by Dragon Ball Z. So I'm not gonna take that away. This is my personal top 10. This is not your personal top 10. If it's in your personal top 10, feel free to leave that in the comments down below. I'm more than welcome to listen to it. This is mine based off the criteria that I have, based off the feelings that anime gave me. And Dragon Ball Z just didn't reach the top 10. I also have Blue Lock. Blue Lock is one of the few sports anime that I have had the privilege of enjoying and watching, which is why I've put that in the honorable mention. Whenever it comes out with the next season, I'm pretty sure Ren and them boys will be able to pull me in again, but I put that in my honorable mention. INUYASHA, it's just it's just something waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning and just listening to that song, the outro just play for you, and then you have every heart. You have kind of the storyline with INUYASHA and Kagome and the sacred jewel shards. Sesshomaru was that brother that you just didn't want to have. But if you never watched INUYASHA, it was a nice watch. It came out early 2000s. I didn't really go through the dates of this, but I will do a little bit better whenever I do more videos like this. Please be patient with me. But INUYASHA, honorable mention, did not crack the top 10. I do apologize. Your Lie in April is in my honorable mentions. That anime made me cry. Watch it. If you like a good story, you will appreciate it. Please watch it. I cried a couple times watching that. I won't tell you why I cried, but just know I cried. Then I have Pokemon. Everybody resonates with Pokemon in way, shape, form, or fashion. Whether it's Pikachu, Squirtle, whether it's Brock, Ash, whether it's Onyx, whether it's Geodude. I have Umbreon somewhere on something that's personal to me. I'm not gonna say it, but Umbreon is my favorite Pokemon, and since Umbreon holds a special place in my heart, Pokemon will always hold a special place in my heart. You played the cards, you threw the Pokeball out, you even probably played Pokemon Go. I don't know what else to tell you, and then I had Vinland Saga also in my honorable mentions. The contrast between season 1, season 2, Thorfinn went through a lot of character growth, a lot of character development, and from what I'm hearing, it's not over, because it's gonna keep growing, keep getting better, and Vinland Saga is just gonna continue to become a staple in anime. And the last but not least of what's rounding out my honorable mentions is going to be Case Closed. Case Closed is essentially my gateway into mystery, into all the solving crime, the basis of the movies I like, the books I read. They really got me deep into it. Case Closed was one of those shows that I kind of grew up on because it used to always come on late. I used to stay up. I stay up sometimes now, but I'm a little older, so I can't stay up as late. But yeah. Lupin the Third was also one of those shows. I ain't throw that on here, but those are my animes that round out my honorable mentions. And then we get our way into the top 10. Number 10, I have Kakegurui. If you haven't watched Kakegurui, please go and watch it. It is a gambling anime with one of my favorite main characters, Yumiko Jabani, and it's very high stakes. It keeps you on the edge of your feet. She goes through this school where gambling is very, very looked upon as the basic currency of the hierarchy of the school. She starts off extremely great at what she does. And even at her lowest, she is still the highest in the room. So, and the way they told the story, like I said, the way it keeps you intrigued throughout the whole seasons, is 2 parts. It's very great. I think any novice, beginner, or would be able to sit down, watch it, enjoy it for what it is, and probably not put it in your top 10 like I did, but you're gonna respect it. Number 9, I have Akame Got Killed. Akame Got Killed with Akame, ironically, is a staple and a cornerstone in my anime life. I'm not gonna really go too much into it, but I was traumatized from it, but I became a better and stronger anime watcher because of it, and it'll always hold a special place in my heart and in my mind and in my psyche. Number 8, I have JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen, and it's going strong. If you're reading a manga, it is a great read. It's a great watch. You have great characters like Gojo, Geto. You have Itadori, Yuta. I almost forgot my boy Yuta. And then you get a lot of with this sacred treasure I summoned, like JJK. I love the fights. They really boxing. They really boxing. And now it gets confusing at sometimes, like curse technique, reverse curse technique, what can do what. But Jujutsu Kaisen, number 8, top 10. Number 7, I have Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and the story itself just kind of speaks for it. Al and Ed traveling, going through the adventure that they went through, sacrificing arm and leg, literally, and sacrificing one's whole body to get back something that was lost to them, but teaching the equivalent exchange and the deeper meaning behind a lot of stuff that they were going through. Full Metal Alchemist is something that I've watched a couple of times, and I recommend every anime in my top 10, obviously, but Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is something great. Is a nice spectacle, and just seeing the fights and then seeing the emotion that they put in it, especially when Captain snapped him up, snapped it up. For never mind, I ain't gonna spoil nothing, but Roy Mustang snapped it up. It was like poetry. Going crazy. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood at number 7. At number 6, I have Naruto, and I have Naruto as like a whole. So there's Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. You probably don't think I can combine them, but it's my list. I'm gonna combine them, and it's Naruto. It's Sasuke. It's the continuation. It's most definitely the fights. It's the deeper than life meaning. It's the power scaling. It's the fight. It's them being in the big three of how they operate. It's some of the filler that they've put out. It's the power scaling. I've always wanted to do a Rasengan. I can go a little bit more in depth if you want me to about why I like these, but this is just a quick rundown about my top 10. But you can't deny that I think coming home from school, you'd come home and watch Naruto. And then I've watched it with my girlfriend and I've seen her lit up with joy through watching it. Gaara was my favorite character. They did Neji so wrong. They did Neji so wrong. Oh my goodness. But I still love Naruto, and it's near and dear. Naruto is a pinnacle. I love the games. Don't really watch manga movies, anime movies, unless, it's Studio Ghibli kind. But Naruto, number 6. Number 5, you might not have heard of it. You might have. I have Erased. Opening, banger. Storyline, banger. It's like 26 episodes. The premise, great. Raw. You got the story, the way it's told, raw. Like, it's one of those mystery ones that you just don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know who it is until you know who it is, and then when you know who it is, you don't really know. Ooh, and then it's a little synopsis of it. 26-year-old man has a power to where he can kind of go back in time. Goes back to where these girls were kidnapped at his school in elementary, and he gotta work through it. It gets deep. It gets deep. It's on Hulu. Please watch it. Please watch it. Erased. It is great. I can't talk about it too much. Enough. I'm sorry. I can't talk about it enough. Number 4, I have Code Geass. Some people might pronounce it that way. With my boy Lelouch Britannia. This is one of my anti-hero ones that I got into. This is one that I watched in high school and I enjoyed it. This is one of the ones that I have to rewatch, but it has stood the test of time within my top 5. But it was in the top 3, but it got pushed out of the top 3 because of this next one. Number 3, I have Attack on Titan, which I think is the greatest anime released within the last 10-15 years. Attack on Titan with Eren Yeager. I could do a whole video on Attack on Titan alone. I don't care how much time it took. I don't care how you feel about the pacing, the story, the foreshadowing, the fact that you have to watch it 2 or 3 times for you to even get the main premise of what it really was. Eren Yeager, Mikasa, Irvin, Commander, 6 man. But I'm more of a rumbling, like, if I lose it all, slip and fall, I will never look away. If I lose it all. Oh, Eren seeing his future episode 1, like, I get so passionate. But it did not make my top 2. Number 2 used to be my number 1, but no longer my number 1. I have Death Note. Death Note is number 2. This is another one that stood the test of time in my top 3. But I had someone that I have to rewatch to check and see if it still stands the test of time. But I love those type of stories. Like with his God complex, kind of anti-hero. He was his own undoing. The mental mind games, the what's gonna happen, it just kind of push it. But not number 1 anymore. You should already know what number 1 is, but I know you don't because you came in and tuned in to figure out what number 1 was. Number 1 is One Piece. One Piece. Luffy, Gear 5, King of the Pirates. He's gonna find the One Piece. He gonna do it. One Piece. The manga is going crazy. This Egghead Island arc is through the roof. I know I said anime, but even the anime art style that they flip from Wano to what they do in Egghead right now, the Law and Blackbeard fight compared to the Big Mom, Kid and Law fight compared to the King and the Zoro, like all of it is great. Oda, please take rest. I'm gonna give you your flowers right now. You are one of the greatest storytellers. You have been writing for oh so long, over 20 years. One Piece was released in 1999. You have been going 20 years strong, 20 plus years strong. I know you're gonna continue to do great and amazing things with this piece. One Piece rounds out my top 10. You can go back and rewind to figure out what all I said, but I'll let you know my top 3 again. Number 3, Attack on Titan. Number 2 is Death Note. Number 1 anime for me and my personal top 10 is One Piece. You can argue it. I don't really mind the argument. But you also, if you're gonna argue me, you're gonna have to let me know what your top 10 is. You ain't gotta let me know your top 10. Let me know what your top 3 is. I'm always down to watch new anime. And then you can always put me on the manga to read. But this is my personal top 10. You don't have to agree with it, but you do have to respect it. You're gonna tune in here in this empire. You're gonna have an open mind. That's just how we roll here. I am Unknown Emperor. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, tweet me anime questions, tweet me cartoon questions. I'm gonna leave all that in the description down below. Like, share, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. This is me signing off. You have a blessed one. Appreciate you.